You guys may recognize this face right now because he's probably been all over your For You page. We've got a very special guest. Let me give you guys a quick introduction of Reno James. Reno James, lifestyle creator, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube now, right? You're building your long form.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube too.
He is living in Scottsdale, Arizona. I think his bio says it's Arizona for now. He has graduated college last May, and he's working corporate job 9 to 5 right now. And the biggest punching point is this guy is gaining traction like no other. I think he's at what 24.7K followers. Holy
Yes,
cow!
sir.
Congrats, man. And Reno, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I'm super excited.
Dude, that was an awesome introduction. This is my first time doing a podcast, so that was cool.
Yeah, that's lit. And so, Reno, I just saw you posted something before this, a little day in the life after work. And your last thing you
For
said
sure.
was you're recording your first podcast. And I was looking at some of the comments. Your people love it, and they were asking you
Yeah.
like, so,
I
podcast
already
this.
one of the first comments was, "Oh, dude, you got to let me know what your podcast is." And I was like, "Hey, hold on. It's not my podcast. I'm the guest." But I was like, "I'll for sure put it on my story cuz got to pull
Yeah.
in that traction."
Oh, absolutely. And it'll be a great episode. So I guess the first thing I just want to cover is how'd you end up getting into content?
Oh, that's the best question. So, dude, far back, like in high school, that was like my dream to be a YouTuber. YouTube was like the main thing because, Instagram, TikTok wasn't even around yet. So, like, I wanted to make YouTube videos. And I have on my computer, like, really old videos of me just screwing around in my basement, like doing ping pong trick shots and stuff.
Yeah.
But most of that stuff I never posted. And then, like, around 18 years old, like my senior year in high school, kind of going into college and COVID started, I was making YouTube videos and posting them. It was a lot more financial based stuff. And like I was going around collecting trash and like reselling it. Looking back, those videos are horrible. Like just horrible editing, horrible talking in front of a
Hey,
camera.
you were
But
hustling. You were hustling.
dude, I was hustling. I was like making $50 selling trash.
That's funny.
But always want to do it. And then, you get into college. I was busy. I swam in college. So I swam for Cleveland State University. That was a lot. So, it kind of just phased out of my life. But I always knew I wanted to come back to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I graduated, I always was like, dude, I'm full sending it. Once I, not in a setting where I have to see all the same people every day. Cause, there's always going to be people that like make comments. And I don't think at that young age, I was prepared for all that.
Yeah.
But then when I was done, I was like, dude, I can do whatever I want now. So I full sent it, made an Instagram, made a TikTok, and posted every single day since.
But what was the inspiration for the full send? Like, I mean, you could bring this back to the childhood. Like, you wanted to
Yeah.
always do YouTube.
Yeah. I always wanted to. I just thought it'd be so cool to just kind of have that like following. I know it's valuable, as we can see from all the people that have it and like being a YouTuber and everything. I know it was valuable and I know I could do it. Like, it's fun. I love the creative side of it. I love putting it all together, the satisfaction of posting it and then seeing views go up. Like, it's not hard for me to talk in front of a camera anymore. It's like that's something you get used to, but I kind of just flowed right into it and it's just something that I enjoy.
Did you have, I don't know, like, did you have a Logan Paul or someone like that that you really looked up to as a kid? That
Oh,
kind
for
of,
sure. I for sure was subscribed to Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I don't love Logan as much anymore, but I think Jake is a genius. Like, people hate on him, but you got to give him credit. That man is making a ton of money. People hate on him, but you got to respect the hustle.
well,
He's the
this is
best
what
at what
I'm
he
saying.
does.
I was actually just having this conversation with my friend the other day. So I know you do boxing classes, right?
Yeah, I just
Boxing,
started.
it's no joke. It's
Yeah.
straight warfare for an hour, however long you do it. Anyway, I just started my boxing classes. I'm doing this as much as I can. I'm doing it to look good. Like, obviously, I want to slim down the fat, but I'm also just doing it to like legitimately train my mind. I want to do something so hard that is going to set me up for success the rest of the day. I'm sitting there thinking and ask myself, why the hell is Jake Paul boxing? Dude, he's got all the money in the world. He doesn't need anything like that. He's got all the status, the fame. He's got a girlfriend. Like, he doesn't need any of this stuff, but he shows up and does probably one of the most difficult things on the planet every single freaking day. And it's impressive. Like, you got to have respect for a guy like that.
Dude, I can tell you exactly why he does it too.
What
That
is
you
it?
can just tell now from like you come up experience it too, like getting those views and how good it feels. That validation of having a video go viral, getting over 1 million views. My theory is they are just addicted to that. And what sells more pay-per-views than like boxing, right? People pay to watch. So on the biggest scale, he knows how to market, he knows how to be the bad guy, trash talk. Think about that Netflix, like how many views he got. Like that's what fuels him. He knows he's gonna get that viewership and it's
So
gonna be the biggest show ever.
you think he just craves status? That's all he wants and
I
fame.
think, yeah. I think that's just like what he does, and that's what he knows makes money, and that's just his passion, being an entertainer.
Yeah, I
And he's
mean, it
good
makes
at it,
sense.
though. Like, I'll give him credit.
Oh, he's very good. I mean, I love watching like a McGregor. Like McGregor, he
Yeah,
just
like the
it
McGregor's
talks
the goat.
so
He's the goat
he's
of
fire.
trash talking and marketing. Like, oh my gosh.
It's very impressive. All right. Anyway, so I know there's a couple creators out there. I don't know if you've talked to them. I mean, like some that come off the top of my mind. Andrews Daily does lifestyle content just like us. I love his stuff.
Yeah,
He
he's
is very
awesome.
he has a great element of mystery. A lot of respect for that guy. Micah Hescott. I'm pretty close with him. We talk a lot. Great freaking content. Like a Hub's Life. I mean, he was the first
Hub's
mover.
life.
So
He's the goat.
all these guys, minus Andrew, I don't think he's ever posted in the office, but the other two guys, they post in the office. You are a lifestyle creator who posts in the office. And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out when you're in the office, are you ever like watching your shoulder and trying to like film when nobody's looking, or what does that
Oh,
look like?
for sure. I literally just set up this water bottle, put my phone in, and I get to work early. Usually I'm there like before everybody. So like if it's like the clips of me showing up to work, I literally there's nobody there yet, so I just set it up, and do it. The ones where it gets risky is like a lunch break because I'll
Right.
like go in the lunchroom and I'll look around, make sure nobody's there. But it's not too bad. They actually know now. Everybody in my office knows, and like they'll joke about it, but I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's got their own lives. They don't really care. Like they think it's cool. A lot of the older ones, they don't really understand it. They're like, "Oh, he's on Instagram or something." But the younger ones, now that they're seeing like it's growing, they think it's cool. Like when I first started, I had like 5,000, and they were like, "Oh, this guy, what is he doing?" But now they've seen the growth in a few months. That's like it's respectable. It's not easy to do that
Yeah, I mean, everybody laughs at you and says, "What is this guy doing?" until they actually see momentum.
until it
And the day you
works.
see momentum is when people put respect on your name. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's just how it goes.
Like
But
it is cringe. I knew it was cringe from the very start, but it's like I didn't
yeah,
care.
no, I mean that's what you have to do. Okay, so it was cringe. Did you get a lot of shit from friends posting this type of stuff? And did you lose friendships over it?
I didn't lose any friendships. See, the beauty of my situation was I moved all the way out to Arizona. So I moved all the way across the nation. I don't know anybody here, so I don't really see a lot of my friends. Like when I go back, I'll meet up with my close friends and everything. But that was the beauty. Like I had a clean slate where when I go out and record or do anything, like I don't know anybody here. And a lot of my viewers are from Phoenix. Like I look at the percentage, and most of them are from Phoenix because like a few videos that I kind of got me going was like my first Friday night in a city where I know nobody. Like that was like a good hook, and those ones
Yeah.
kind of did well. So a lot of my viewers are out here, but no, I mean some people. It's mostly the comments is what people will make like talk to me about. They're like, dude, the people in your comments are weird. I'm like, I don't really read them, so I'll read like after an hour I post. I'll like respond to a few, but I don't really look at it after that. But other than that, no.
What are they? Are they hate or are they just like
No, they'll just be like sometimes they'll be like sexual or something. They'll be like, "Oh, look at his blue eyes" or something like it just doesn't make you feel comfortable when it's like especially if it's like an old man saying it.
dude, there are a lot of old men in the DMs.
There's a lot of old men, dude. But
I I can't even lie about that.
you just ignore it.
You have to. Back to the whole work situation. So I started filming content and taking it seriously over the summer. And it was at my internship. And it's kind of like the same thing with you. I would get there early every single day so I could just put the camera out and start filming. Like I would
Yeah.
set that up, I'd make sure no one's looking around. I think one of the craziest thing that happened to me over the summer is it was at the start of my internship. and I posted a video. It's like everything I got from my internship, and boom, TikTok comes 3.5 million views. I'm like fired
That's
up. I see light at the
crazy.
end of the tunnel. I probably get 2 or 3 thousand followers from this video. I'm like, okay, I got to start posting every single day. I started doing like a day in the life of myself at my internship, and this day I was working from home, and so I film in the day in the life, and then I go into the office next week Monday, and my manager messages me, and he's like, "Yo, give me a call." I'm like, "Okay." So I go in there, give me a call, and it's just in my back of my mind, I'm like, I think he's gonna bring up content. He's gonna tell me I have to stop doing this, and that's exactly what he does. He's like, "Yo, like, there's this one post, like, I mean, we can't tell you not to be
Oh
posting
my
content, but
gosh.
there's this one thing where you talk about a certain thing, and you got to delete this video. I got to get back to corporate and see what's going on and see if you can continue this. I can't, like, my whole day was totally screwed up. Like, my heart
Yeah,
dropped.
that's
It was this
wild.
feeling of embarrassment. It was the worst feeling ever. But it came out like I was able to keep posting, and I did. But do you ever feel nervous and worried when you're posting stuff in the office or just having a personal brand on the internet when you're working a corporate job?
Yeah, see, I've always thought of it is like if they talk to me, I'd be fine with not posting in the office. I'll just only post outside the office. I'd
Yeah.
figure they'd have a conversation. It wouldn't just be like, "Oh, you're in trouble." Like they'd be like, "Hey, we don't like this." Okay, that's fine. Like I would have no hard feelings about it. But I mean, no, most people think it's cool, honestly, or like they just don't really care about it.
Yeah. No, that's valid. I mean,
But yeah, that's wild that they told you to stop. I would not expect that.
it was a certain video, and I think it was because I mentioned, like, this office lets you work from home a certain amount of days, and it wasn't consistent with all the other offices. So that was the big thing.
Mm,
That was kind of the key thing. But, like,
yeah,
dude, honestly, when companies think about it, I know, like, Hub's Life. You think of Hub's Life. This guy posts all the time about his job. He's very mysterious with it, though. Like, he does not drop the name of the company. If you're a
yeah.
content creator and you go out and you drop the name of your company, it's like free marketing. It's the
Yeah, that's what
freest.
I always thought about it too. Like
Yeah.
it's like if they would get upset, it's like they don't understand. But because I'm like, I only say nice things. I love the company I work for. Like it's great. I'm doing well, and like I love the program I'm in. It got me really far. So I've only said nice things about it, and it's like that just looks good on their part. I would never say anything bad, like unless if something bad happened and I quit and it ended up in a weird way. But no, I
Yeah.
love everything that my company's given me.
Speaking about that, we had a video in my human resources class the other day, and you may have seen this video, but there was this girl filmed herself. This is common too. This girl filmed herself getting laid off, and it's like a 9-minute TikTok video, multiple millions of
That's
views, and
wild.
she's like fighting back on the call, calling them out. She drops the company's name, and the question was like, "Would you ever film something? Do you think this is a good move on her part?" I was thinking, like, no, like, she's like coming at these people and it's a fight, so it wasn't the best thing.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
anyway, uh, moving on with the content thing, I think something that I've struggled with at times is tying my mood and happiness to growth, and that could be
Yeah, I wanted
follower
to ask
growth,
you about that as well.
it can be viewership. Do you struggle with that?
Yeah, because that first experience, I never had that million views on TikTok, but when I like first moved out here, I got like 200, 150K. That wasn't even that crazy, but like it blows up your phone. Every time you check your phone, it says 99 plus followers, likes, comments, everything. And it's just like every time, and it's just like so new, and it's like instant dopamine every time you hit. You're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like is this it? Is this my like? Is it going to keep going? And then you have good weeks and you have bad weeks. So it's just the bad weeks it is hard to stay motivated because it's like, why am I doing this? Is this gonna always be up and down and stuff? But then when you're on the good weeks, it's like you're on highs. So I feel like the first few months I really felt the up and down. But now like I think of it more as it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And I'm gonna try to go longevity, do this for years and years, and wherever it takes me, but not try to like look constantly at all the views because I know you can get wrapped up in that, and it's not good. It's not doing anything for you. It's
So,
really out of your control too. It's like
right.
you know how it works. Like you can post an amazing video you love, took forever to make, and it can totally flop. And then you can be like, shoot, I'm running late. Let me just throw up a random thing, and it does well. So it's like it's really kind of out of your control. You just got to be consistent.
Well, so it sounds like most of the stuff when you get tied up with it, it sounds like you just check it a lot. I understand that you check it. Would it like dictate your mood? And if so, what was just like your most down bad day? Do you have one of those that you just remember?
Down bad. I would just say like there was probably like a week or something where like it was like a whole week of flops, and it's just like,
Yeah.
shoot, it was my run over, is it like I made a new account, they pushed out a few videos, and it's just like lost hope. But it never like really put me in a bad place. It just affects your motivation, and motivation comes and goes. Like we all know that. So it's just, you just got to kind of move past that.
That that's a good point. Motivation does come and go. I mean, like with the game of content, and I'm sure you get people that reach out to you all the time, and they
Yeah.
ask like, Reno, I would love to get 5 minutes of your time. Like, let's speak. And you hop on that call, and it's like one of the most common questions is like, what's your biggest advice? And I'm pretty sure every single content creator on the planet has said it's consistency.
Dude,
Post
it's a
every single day.
superpower.
That's what
Consistency
it is.
is it's just great. And everything in life. Like
Yeah.
if you're consistent with it, you're gonna see growth.
I think one of the phrases that, just for some context, I've always been someone who's been pretty ambitious. Like I've always wanted to start things in business and entrepreneurship, and I think I count my personal brand as a business and the podcast too. So this is business 4 and 5. But something that I've always struggled with is when I'd start these businesses, I'd get in and I'd start them, and I feel like I'd start them just to start because I wanted to be doing something, but I wasn't really bought in, and I every single time I'd give up prematurely. And then for the
Yeah.
first time in my life, October 2023 last year, I sat down and I told myself, if I do not follow through on this personal brand, I will be a quitter the rest of my life. I literally will be a quitter the
Bro, I
rest
just
of my
got
life.
chills.
My fourth time doing this. And for 6 to 8 months straight, 6 to 8 months straight, I'm posting on TikTok and Instagram. And it's just like 200 views, 100 views, 10 followers,
Oh
81
my gosh.
followers. I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, what else can I do? Like, this is not going to work out. I had a goal to get 1,000 followers by the end of the year. And then one day, it was April 16th. I was studying abroad in Dublin. I decided to film my Saturday afternoon studying abroad, post it, wake up the next morning after the gym, check TikTok, see 99 plus, 99 plus, like that little thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I check it. That everything changed after that. That was the first time I ever saw light at the end of the tunnel. The first time. And I'm like, this could
Wow.
actually work. From there, committed, took off. What is your light at the end of the tunnel moment from content?
Wow, that's amazing. I really don't know if I've had like that experience of like a one video kind of just blow up. Mine's been like pretty like steady growth. So it's just been like some videos do decently well, some videos like they don't. But I just feel like I always wanted to do this, and I always like I knew when I did it I was gonna just full send it, and it wasn't like an option of, oh, I'm gonna do this to the like I'm gonna commit myself to 100 videos and see where I'm at. It was like when I finally sat down, I was just fully 100%. I'm posting every single day, sometimes twice a day, and I have
Yeah.
not missed a day from I started about 5 months ago. So it's just been like it's not even like a question. It's just kind of like I'm doing it now.
Why do you think people follow you?
Um, I think there's a few reasons. I think definitely motivate some people. I think
Yeah.
some people just like to watch like a young, good-looking guy get ready or go throughout their day and stuff. It's just like it's just satisfying. And that's like another reason why I started. Like I'm sitting there in college and I like would scroll through TikTok for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, dude, there's literally a billion people doing this. Like that is how much hours has it been putting in. And like I would see Andrew Daily Day, and I'd be like, I'd watch this thing, and I was like, dude, I could do this. Like, and then like it would just be the same thing every time, but like I would watch it because I was like, it's just entertaining. It's just simple and it's fun. So
But like breaking it down, I get this question all the time. My parents at the start, I'm posting content. My brother's grilling me. He's like, this is not going to do anything. Like, you're not providing any value. You're just doing the same exact thing as everyone else. My mom, what the hell are you doing? Like, this is stupid. Nothing's different. You get this all the time. But people always, like, they seem to like this lifestyle stuff. Why do you think people keep coming back and watching lifestyle content?
I think it's really cool because social media has this big, it's like fake. You see all these people with like fancy cars, all this, they're on in Bali, like walking across the beaches, doing all this cool stuff. I feel like the lifestyle is really real and down to earth, and it makes people really comfortable knowing, okay, this is like, I'm in this with everyone else, you know? Like when you're studying for an exam, everyone that's in college studying for exams, they can relate to that. When I'm like going to work at 9 to 5, and that's why Hub's Life blew up. It's like everybody is going into work, sitting there. All those little comments, they're all relatable. You know, a short little lunch break is so relatable when you're sitting there, you have leftovers, and then you go right back in the office. You put like a little dull music on it to like make it like dramatic, and it's just like it's just something that it sparks in their brain. They're like, I can feel exactly what he's doing right now, and
So you
they
think the number
connect.
one thing is relatability?
Yeah, I think that's. I feel like those my best videos have been super relatable stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I gotta say,
Or really good hook. Really good hook is super hard to find, but good hooks are insane.
what's been your best hook?
My best hooks were when my first week out here was like I moved to Arizona. I rode that for like 2 weeks. I was like a city where I know absolutely nobody. A Saturday night I know absolutely nobody. My first day of the 9 to 5 in a new city. you
That's
know,
a good one.
it was just so simple and easy, and it was true. So it's like people were like, "Oh, what's he doing?" And then all the people around that know the little coffee shops that I would go to be like, "Oh, I love that place," or "Oh, you need to check out this place." It's
Yeah,
cool. It
I
builds a little community.
it does. And actually, I mentioned the summer of my internship. I was in a city where I didn't know anyone either. I was in Cincinnati, middle of nowhere, the suburbs. And one night, I don't know how it came in. Like ideas just kind of pop up with content creation. And I'm sitting in my car. I'm like, I'm gonna say, here's my Friday night in a city where I don't know anyone.
Dude, I
And
think I've seen that video.
it got it got a lot of views. But I was scrolling at the other day and I'm watching this video and I'm understanding why it gets so many views. I look
Yeah.
depressed. It looks miserable. Like you put the depressing music on. I'm just cooking up my boy dinner, sitting there like
Boy,
this, eating.
and you're
I'm
always
reading
like,
a book, and I go to bed. Like that's it. It looks miserable, and people. I mean,
you
you're
would
both.
always post like you'd sit out on your balcony and you'd be like, "Let my mind wander." That was
Mind.
you, right? Let,
You got to try it at some point. Have you ever tried to let your mind wander?
I have tried meditating, bro. It's hard, but it's like insane. Like just sitting with nothing going on and let your thoughts. It's actually wild how powerful that is.
It's
Because
like the
in our
best,
lives, we're constantly wrapped
right?
up in something.
Well, especially with us too, like everything you mentioned, it's like centered around dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. That's all you get every single morning. I made a podcast the other day, and I'm talking about uh, uh, 5 ways that you can five things you can do in your life to wake up early. And I say one of the biggest things that I always used to do, I would get up, and the first thing I would do every single morning, I go on my phone, I scroll, I
Yeah,
check notifications. Do you know what that does to your mind?
I
It
still do that.
rewires it. So when you do that, does it just rewire your brain
It's
to
definitely
just
not good. I definitely agree. It's bad. My problem is not like my alarm is on my phone, so I immediately turn it off,
yeah,
and then like I want to check my video. That I literally sent you a message today, and I was like, but I gotta check my views. I was like, that's like the first thing I want to do is like, okay, I posted a video last night. Let's see what happened with it, and then I will. Sometimes I'm good and it's fine. I'll put it away, go for a walk outside. But then it's only bad is if you accidentally hit that reels or the TikTok, and then you
yeah.
start scrolling because it pulls you in so quick.
Well, there's no way you can just wake up and go on Reels and check the video without going on TikTok,
Yeah.
without going on YouTube, without like, but it's like a chain reaction. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's another
Uh,
reason why I wanted to get in. I was like, if you can't beat him, join him.
that's facts. I like that. But yeah, anyway, I try to just not go on my phone. And I think the tough thing is I've talked to a lot of really, really amazing creators and they've been super helpful. One of the most memorable conversations was with this one girl and she's built up a huge brand on online, 100 maybe 200,000 followers. And she gave me a ton of great advice. One of the biggest things is she's like every single day, 3 story posts. You need one in the morning, you need one at lunch and one at the end of the day at a minimum. And so I mean that's the whole thing with going on my phone. I try to delay it as long as I can because I know
Yeah.
as soon as I go on that phone, I'm screwed the rest of the day. It sounds crazy, but you're screwed until, at least me personally, until I do a workout or I just like let the
Yeah,
mind wander or do something like that.
you got to work out. Working out is like it's a really a key, a fundamental of life, like a healthy lifestyle. You got to exhaust yourself.
For real. All right, back to I want to ask a very interesting question. And this was one I got a PhD student at WashU reach out to me and he's like, "Can I interview with the study I'm doing with content creators?" The question he asked me was this: "Do you think getting all this attention and traction has made you more confident or has it lowered your self-esteem and risen your insecurities?"
It definitely hasn't had any negative effects. I don't know if I've fully felt like positive effects though either, like confidence and stuff. Like I don't know if you get noticed out in public, but like I'd say every once in a while people come up to me, and it's like cool, you know. Like I'm always happy to see them and everything, but I never think like, oh, like I'm super popular and stuff. I feel like it's because we are smaller channels and smaller
Yeah.
pages. Like I don't feel like I'm like famous, you know, at all. Like I just feel like I'm posting random videos. I know some of them are bad, some of them are good, but like I feel like I'm just in the learning process.
So you never struggle with hate comments.
I don't
TikTok's
get many
full of
hate
hate comments.
comments.
You don't. Okay.
No, I
You
wouldn't say.
never feel yourself compare yourself to other creators and say, "Man, this guy's growing here. Why am I not doing this?" And it lowers your self-esteem on days like that.
I'll
Nothing.
compare, but what I compare isn't like growth or anything. I don't pay attention to that much. Is quality. Like I'll notice some people's quality is just way better, and I'm like, I feel like then I gotta step up my game. You know?
But you don't. Okay, so that makes sense. In regarding self-confidence, you don't think even 1% having followers and getting this traction has improved your self-confidence.
Yeah, man. I guess I haven't really thought about it. Like I'm trying to think. Maybe it's because I'm like not, I'm in like a new place and I'm not like back home with all like the same people. It's like hard to notice because I feel like my identity is kind of like changing because I'm just out here by myself.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to think on that one more.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like my confidence comes from like simply if I'm following a routine of working out, eating healthy, and like doing like good things for my mental health. Like if I'm on a streak of doing those things, that's when like I see a direct correlation. I'm like feel better, more confident. I'm talking to more people, and then when I'm eating bad, I'm not working out. That's where I feel like a direct correlation to how I feel with confidence.
okay. That makes sense. I think for me, I think the biggest booster in self confidence is the impact that you create through your brand. Like there can be one support message for you can outweigh 1,000 hate comments, and believe me, there's a lot of hate comments. But that one person that got inspiration for your from your video or that you helped out, that's just the biggest freaking win ever. It's the biggest rush of happiness, and like that puts in perspective why you do this type of stuff. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like that boosts your self confidence and like it just gives you this feeling that it's good that I'm doing this and it's okay no matter how much hate you are actually impacting people. I think that's where that comes from me.
What are some of the hate comments you get? I'm curious.
Oh my god, TikTok's the worst platform in the world, dude. People are brutal on
Really,
TikTok.
you getting roasted in the comments?
Always, bro. Like Instagram's not as bad. Instagram is like a community, right?
Yeah,
These are your people. You're always interacting with them. You're trying to add value. They support you. TikTok, it's just a bunch of random people with fake
yeah.
usernames and a fake profile. And so like I get up early every morning, like they grill me for that, take a chill pill. They'll grill me for
Take a chill pill.
any
Yeah,
possible
I
thing.
feel bad for those people because I'm just like, imagine sitting there and then just doing that. Like, we know we're waking up and we're trying to do something, you know? Like, at the end of the day, we're trying to maybe make a business, we're trying to build a following. Like, we're working towards a goal, right? And it's like, we're trying. And some people, like, don't like to see people try. Some people think it's cool to, like, not try. And I feel like it makes me sad that it's like, that's like a societal thing where, oh, this guy's trying in life. Like, why is he trying hard, you know? It's kind of sad. So
I
like,
know, but it's like gotten to the point where you just like you gotta ignore it. You
yeah,
cannot let that stuff affect you. Even though I think it's very easy. The most tempting thing is like you want to respond back and like
yeah.
come back at them and with
I
something.
always just like laugh at them. Like if somebody just like makes, if somebody makes like a little comment, I'll be like go along with it, and like if somebody's like, dude, nobody cares, I'll be like, I know, right? Like I'll just like go along with it.
I'm trying to find the best content creator out there that gets a ton of hate and responds well to those messages, to the comments. And I'm trying to study that because
You
I
got
want
it.
something like snappy to come back. I think that'd be pretty funny.
And I think it's just good engagement. Like at the end of the day, more comments looks better. So I'm fine with people if they want to hate, go for it.
No, that is true. I mean, it does boost up engagements.
It literally
Uh,
is good for me.
on the topic of audience, what do you think is the key to the kid out there that's 18 years old, 16 years old, 14 years old, 21 years old, that's sitting here and like, man, I really want to start posting on social media. I want to build a community of followers. What do you think's the biggest key or any advice to building a loyal following and a community?
Loyal following in a community. I think first you got to figure out a little niche that you truly enjoy, because if you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to last long, like at all. So you really got to love it to the point where it's like every day you can look at it and enjoy the process of it, because that's like the start, or else you're not going to go anywhere with it. But then I would say trying to just connect with your people, like responding, like when you first start, you got to respond to every comment, you got to respond to every DM, you got to like have a community, you have to have a little relationship with all those people, and sometimes that's more work than the actual posting. But like the first 3 months, I wouldn't miss a comment, I wouldn't miss a DM, I wouldn't miss a story reply. Like I would reply to everybody, because it was like I did have the time to do it. And I was like, I know now if I respond to them, think about on the other end, like if you DM'd one of your favorite creators and they responded, that makes you feel a little special. And now you're gonna like them more just because of that. So when their video pops up, you might watch more than versus if they didn't respond,
True.
you know?
True.
So it's like I feel like you gotta try to figure out where your community, how it's growing, and then just build off of that.
Yeah, I
It's like
agree.
you're more of like the trying to like self development, get better and everything. So it's like you've built that, and now like okay, all my people that are following me are trying to get better in life. Like they're trying to do better things, and it's like you have to kind of learn what does your audience want.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Kind of on that topic, me and my friend were just talking about this before this, and I wonder if you ever deal with this. I know you said you've posted every single day for the last X amount of time. Do you feel like any of that is fear? Like you
Fear.
don't want to stop posting for a couple days because you're afraid of losing momentum.
Oh
You're
yeah,
afraid
yeah,
of losing traction. Do you think
yeah.
it's rooted in fear? You do.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I that's why I don't want to miss a day so far, because it's like I know, and I also know if I post, right, even if I get 5 followers from that post versus I don't post, I'm not going to get any. So it's like
Yeah.
that. I know that's just going to be like an exponential growth. It's going to keep building off each other. But then, yeah, I'm scared of taking 3 days off, and then maybe the algorithm is terrifying. You don't know what's going on. So it's like I'm scared of it maybe like, oh, now he's back, and having a whole week of it pushes my video down or it doesn't get a lot of views. Like I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm
But
just gonna try to see how long I can.
do you think that's a healthy way to go about it? Because like you can only live in fear for so long, and then there comes a point where you may burn out and you just lose the
Yeah,
love for it. Like, you do this because you love it, but
yeah,
what
yeah.
happens when it goes away because you're just living in fear?
I think once I'm in a place where I have more responsibilities, I'll be a little more lenient. But it's like I have no excuse not to. Like I live all alone, right? I do my 9 to 5. I don't really hang out with people during the week, and then on the weekends, even if I do hang out with people, like I got so much time on the weekends, it's insane. Like I don't work on the weekends, and it's just me. So I wake up and I got the whole day. So it's like I got so much time to do it. So once if I live with a girlfriend, or like obviously if you have like a kid, or like
Yeah,
whatever the situation is, or if I'm like on a vacation, then like I think I'll rethink about it and be like, okay, right now I want to be in the moment. Like for example, like Christmas Day, like I didn't
yeah.
record on Christmas Day. I just had a video that maybe like I reposted, or like I put it together and edit like a few days before and just scheduled the post. It wasn't like I'm locked in every single day, but I do try to get the post out every day.
Speaking about ladies, what are you, 20, 22, 23,
22.
22?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have you met anybody in Scottsdale? Are you searching?
I got a girlfriend,
There's gonna
actually.
be girls listening to this right now, so sell yourself.
Dude, I got a girlfriend.
You do have
I
a girlfriend.
have a girlfriend back in Cleveland, Ohio at the moment. And so she's finishing her last year at Cleveland State, her fifth
Yeah.
year, and I'm only here temporarily. So I'm in like a rotational program for my job. So I'm gonna try
Okay.
to. I don't know where I'll go next, but I'm hoping to try to get back to Cleveland. And if we're
Yeah.
both in Cleveland, then we'll make it work from there.
How does she feel about your content?
She's honestly been really supportive because I was scared, but like I before I started posting again, I showed her my YouTube back when I was like younger and like the shitty video. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. The bad videos. Um, and she was like, I was scared, right? I'm like, oh, these videos are embarrassing. And she was like, oh, this is so cool. You got to keep doing this. You got to be
Awesome.
proud of this. So when she said that, I was like, you're right. Like, why am I like ashamed of this? Like, it's something I like to do, and I want to
Yeah.
do it. And she helps me more than like judges me. Like if I post a cringe post or a bad post, she will correct me like, "Hey, you should do this or don't do this." You know,
Yeah.
like and like she doesn't want me to look bad, so it's like it's cool, but she's real with it. You know, like if like when I was first got out here, I was doing like cringy stuff, like going like this and smiling and stuff, and she was like, "Hey, you don't need to do that," and I was like, "Okay, that's fair."
I think I don't have a lady in the life, and I'm not looking for a lady in the life. The next person I will date, I told myself this. I've made up my mind. The next person I will date, and when I do date that will be a girl I can see a future with. I will never date just to
Yeah,
date again. But I think the most important thing that can come from a girlfriend or a future wife, and it seems like you have it, is someone who will support you no matter what. When
yeah,
you're not there and people are talking shit because you're posting
yeah,
online,
yeah.
she has
That's
your back. That's the most attractive thing in the entire world. I'm happy for you that
Yeah, I'm
that
lucky with that. Like she'll even say she'll be like, we have another friend that likes he's a good friend, but he likes to like give crap to people. He was like, yeah, he put my YouTube video on their TV in their living room and was trying to like get her going, like, oh look, but she was like, oh, it's cool, it's a good video, and I was like, bro, that's respect.
yeah, that's a little bit of jealousy with that boy right there. Anyway, what about I always think about like I just think about this stuff when I get a girlfriend someday or whatever, and I go to the parents' house. Do I film during that? I feel like that's gonna be kind of weird if you ever experienced that.
I would say not the first not the first time, but
But
the
do you
second
ever?
time, second time you got to get that content, man.
God, I feel like that would just be a
No,
it's
definitely
it's
not the
weird
first
filming in
time.
the gym, but that is a whole nother beast of
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
damn.
How do you feel about filming in public? Like, does it bother you?
Believe it or so, I think growing up, for context, I in high school, this was a specific day. It was my senior year of high school. I loved Richard Yu. I don't know if you know who that was, but he was a student entrepreneur at UCLA, and he posts day in the life videos. And I
Okay.
watch his stuff all the time. Biggest inspiration to me ever. Super motivating. I was sitting in my room someday, and I'm like, next year I'm going to Wash U. At the time, it was a top 15 school in the country, so that's an eye catcher. I was a student athlete on the baseball team. That's an eye catcher. I'm like, I need to post day in the life content. This could serve other people. But
Yeah.
in that moment, there's just this rush of anxiety and fear. I'm like, there's no shot I could ever do this. I ended up forcing myself out of guilt to post one video the end of my freshman year. And I did it. I got so much shit for it. I posted one more and then just shut down my YouTube account.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm never doing this again because it was so hard to do. And then I told you the line about being a quitter or not, but still to this day, like I'm still in public sometimes, and it's tough to film. Like even with the following that you have, it makes you feel weird at times.
College is so hard too. Like, I wish going back, I did a day in the life. Like, I wake up in the morning, go to swim practice. Like, I could have made great videos, but I'm happy I didn't because I could have started it, got crap, gotten discouraged, and then never did it again. You know, like, so I don't want to have any regrets. But it's tough when you're in school because you see the same people every day. Everyone kind of knows each other. Everyone can talk. You know, like
Right.
I go out in public, I'm it's a random stranger who cares if they see it? They're gonna look and be like, oh, that guy's making a video, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna go on their day. They're not gonna think twice. But you know, like it's harder in school. Like I think you're gonna have a lot more easier time when you're done when you graduated.
I think one of the biggest things is like that's always in the back of my head. And I still film at school. I don't film as much like during the class, but I'm like, I don't want this person to go and take a video of me filming and then send it to a huge group chat and just like
Yeah,
look at this idiot right now. Like I feel like that's gonna happen. But at the same time I think about it and I'm like, who like who cares?
Yeah.
It's not real fear. Is it gonna
It's
kill
like
me?
it's not like you're hiding it. You post the video. Obviously, you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of
So
think of it. It's like it's not like I'm ashamed of it. Like I posted online for everyone to see.
right. And so it's just like I guess it's like framing. But for the kid out there that's listening to this, what are your tips to getting over that fear?
Um, Got to be sneaky with it. No, I'm just kidding. But I would say you got to be like aware because you don't want to be like disrespectful and stuff. So like if you're like in a really crowded place with there's a bunch of people around, some people might not want to be on camera. So it's like you gotta like I only do it if there's like not really many people around, or if I'm in like a restaurant or something. I'll do it so it like the framing is just on my face. And like I said, I'll set it up where it's not like I have my tripod. Like I'll bring the tripod to the gym, but at the gym it's like everybody does that now. Like if I go to the gym, usually 90% of the time there's somebody else recording themselves as well. Like that's like a normal thing to do. They're recording lifts. I just record one set of whatever I'm doing. So I feel like it varies on the environment, but you know,
Has anyone ever told you not to film?
no. One time I
Yeah.
was in a store once and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm filming." She was like, "About the store?" And I was like, "Well, like when I'm gonna buy at the store." And she was like, "Oh, cool." And I thought she was gonna say, "Don't do that in here," but she was like, "Oh, that's cool."
You're saying a worker.
Yeah, like a worker there.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been a great conversation. I expect that some of your followers, I hope, listen to this podcast. So, I guess for a wrap up, is there any appreciation, anything that you want to say to them to conclude this,
To who?
to your followers?
To my followers. Hey, if you're watching this, DM me. Let me know what you think. This is my first time. But I want to give a huge shout out to you, Anthony, because I've been watching your content for a long time. And like when I first started, you were like probably one of the third people, like Hub's Life, Andrew Daily Day, and you were like literally the third person that like I saw, followed, and was like, oh, this is kind of the style I want to do and stuff. So huge shout out. And you do motivational stuff. I love love it. Keep it going.
I appreciate it, Reno. All right. That being said, if you guys enjoyed this conversation, if you made it to the end, respect.
Well, if
But
you made it to the end, you're a real one.
you are a real one. Go rate our show on Spotify. We can't grow. We can't deliver a message to serve others. If you guys don't rate the show, share it with a friend, family. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We will be a top 100 Spotify podcast someday. You can mark my word. I don't care how long it's going to take. This will happen. Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate every second of it.
Nice meeting
Adios.
you.